There it is. Whew. I'm at the Backbone Trail access point near Piuma, and I'm gonna go check out Malibu Creek actually real quick. It's Friday morning, so hopefully we can do this quickly. There are a lot of little side trails down to the creek. I decided to take this one because it looks like we got some nice boulders right down there, so we'll see how that is. Wow, so I was actually thinking about accessing this spot that looks cool a little further down the road, but I gotta say, this is pretty neat, you know? Yeah, the road's right up there, and I think what I'm gonna do is just try to take this canyon down for a ways. This is actually gonna be the second spot that I visited last weekend, but I really kind of got carried away at the state park. Yeah, I do see a crawdad down there, and I'm sure there are a bunch here too. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna try to just make my way further down the easy way. I think we're gonna get a nice canyon with some really good pools at some point. Oh God, there are a lot of crawdads here. I'll try to film this. It's not the best lighting, but we'll see. So I just kind of stepped onto this rock here, and there were a bunch of crawdads that sort of swam around. I don't know how well you might be able to see any of this, but yeah, there are quite a few swimming around here. There are some remains. So right past that pond, I stumbled upon, there were actually a ton in here. They like to swim away. You can see maybe a few on the branch right there. I don't know if you can see it, but this guy was just right there in that crevice, and yeah, very easy to grab. This would be a great spot for catch and cook, you know, so neat little critter here. I'm gonna get a few photos and let him go in a sec. Here's for a little size comparison, and it might not necessarily look huge, but compared to some of the other ones I've just seen in the area, it's definitely pretty big. Anyways, yeah, I got a few photos. I'm gonna let it go. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna catch crawdads every time I see them. There were really a lot here, and they do kind of like to escape, obviously, you know. So yeah, let's put this guy back in the water. There he is. And yeah, maybe I'll try to get on video at least one or two more of them. Yeah, I don't know, you can probably see that little red guy under there, the one that over here kind of swam away. You see that narrow section there? I think that's what I'm going for. Not 100% sure, but we are pretty close, and I haven't even really gone all that far. So I think it was a good call parking at that Backbone Trail spot, you know? Anyways, let's make our way further down. Wow, so right before that narrow section there, you get this really big pool actually, so might have to do some swimming here, maybe unavoidable, but anyways, yeah, I might try to loop my way around first and then take a quick dip before going further down. Just so you're aware too, I am new to exploring, you know, the Santa Monica's. I've done some trail running here on a lot of the more popular hiking trails back in the day, but I haven't really done too much here, especially like the off-trailing stuff. So like last weekend was really one of the first, I don't know, semi-big ones, not huge, it was more recon. But yeah, this is looking wild, just, you know, being able to find big pools like that. Anyways, I'm gonna set my stuff, get my stuff all, you know, oh crap, together so I don't drop anything. I can use my hands. This looks actually quite deep, you know, and it does sort of look murky maybe. I don't know how the video's getting at it, but once the sun comes up, this may be like just a really kind of transparent green color. I don't know. I'm happy I came down where I did too, because I'm not really sure how access is up by the road up there. Just taking in the view though real quick, and I think I'm gonna do a cold plunge near the tail end of this pond. Wow. This is gonna be a good way to start the day. Nice enormous pool tucked away in Malibu Creek. All right, let's do a cold plunge. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whew. Good stuff, yeah. This section here is definitely what I'm excited about, but also, yeah, a bunch of crawdads. Not sure if you're seeing this guy, but he's just yeah, swimming around. Maybe I can grab him with while I'm holding the phone. Yeah, let's do that. So, ton of crawdads here. I haven't even really been filming the best spots, but yeah, that one was pretty effortless to catch. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get a few photos again and let crawdad number 2 go before I continue on further down. Nice to catch the second crawdad of the day, and I've really seen like a lot of these guys, like hundreds, many hundreds. And the only reason I decided to catch this one because, you know, I was filming this section and I just noticed, hey, kind of a big one, you know, right near where I'm filming. So back there are a bunch, a lot of babies. So I think they're just going to be a lot more of these guys even later in the year. Alrighty, there you are. So I wasn't really 100% sure how traversable this would be, but looking at it now, it looks really tractable, and there do seem to be quite a few nice pools between the canyon walls. So we'll see how this goes. Wow, this is really just something else, you know. I'm really impressed by the Santa Monicas. So this took very little effort to kind of locate and access, I guess. I mean, there is a good bit of boulder hopping that needs to happen. But yeah, this is pretty low effort given the view. Very incredible. I mean, I am getting wet and stuff, so I wouldn't just say this is a casual hike, but incredible here. So you got these narrow walls. You do have some little small little caves over here, and you know, maybe over there a little bit, kind of up that way. But all in all, gorgeous narrow section. I'm gonna get a few photos and then kind of rock hop along there to the next pool. Nice to finally really kind of be doing this range here. You know, I didn't realize how amazing the Santa Monicas were and how easy some of these spots would be to access, you know. Again, I didn't know what I'd find here. Didn't know what the traversability would be. I am like wading on and off, so right, like I'm in the water now. But yeah, none of it really is extremely deep. I mean, there are, well, there are some deep sections like maybe where I'm at right now-ish, but I mean, it's not too bad. I think the deeper section's right there, and it is kind of avoidable if you're willing to get wet a little bit. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna make it further down that way and keep showing y'all what I find. Just spectacular here, you know. I'm happy I did this as kind of a quick recon trip, you know. As I mentioned before, I think I wanted to do this last weekend, I guess, as part of like a longer trip, but I kind of got distracted with the first area I stopped in. And yeah, this is really nice. One of these days I'm gonna keep going. I'll come back here and I'll keep going further down. I think there's a dam at some point, but yeah, wow, this is a nice pool. I think there's a waterfall over there maybe. It can't be too tall, but it does look like it kind of steps down there. So the pool above the waterfall looking thing is pretty big, but I'm just gonna try to make my way around. You know, this is one of the things I was kind of worried about though. You know, if oh no, I can make my way around this, but you wouldn't want to go down something you can't climb up. Like this looks like a spot I could climb up, actually maybe even over there. But you know, if you're exploring anywhere and you don't really know how access is back further downstream, try to avoid going down things you can't climb up or up things you can't climb down. So there does seem to be a small waterfall here actually connecting these two pools, you know, this upper pool and this lower pool. What I think I'm gonna do is just kind of climb down this way. I might have to get pretty wet here, which is fine. I've already taken like my cold plunge. I want to go do a little more soaking here, but yeah, this looks like something I could get down and get back up, you know. There it is. That's the waterfall, slightly better view. And yeah, I left something up there. I have like waterproof and stuff. Nothing in here is electronic, but my keys are, you know, so good to bring this. But yeah, I think I could pretty easily climb up that. And if not, that actually looks climbable too. So either way, it'll work on my way up. But yeah, this really exceeded my expectations, you know. Can't really emphasize it enough. Great section of Malibu Creek. Only been on some of the creek and really mostly the state park, but yeah, the whole Santa Monica is maybe pretty awesome. You know, this view down here is pretty wild too. But yeah, just a little further from now, I think I'm just gonna turn around. I might do some dipping in the pools before I make my way back to where I parked. But yeah, a lot of nice pools like this one, you know, very deep and nicely tucked away between these steep canyon walls. Some of them have little caves, so I think I might have to get a few photos here actually. Yeah, this is just an incredible view here. You know, the narrows kind of widen out right down there, but what I think I might do is kind of check out some of those caves and then make my way to the end here and maybe come back and soak in one or two of these pools, maybe more. Yeah, so you get these little, I guess wind carved, you know, maybe partially salt carved caves around here, and a lot of them are kind of tiny, maybe not something you'd crawl in, but still pretty cool to check out. Actually, before I go down, I'm just gonna climb up this face here and look into those caves up there. Those look kind of nice and bigger than the other ones right over here. All right, let's take a look. So, yeah, a lot of leaves in these. Some of these. I'm actually gonna go up to that one there, but it, you know, it does require very, what I would call easy climbing for me at least. You know, I can actually do this with phone in my hand while poking around, apparently. So, yeah, always do these things at your own risk though. This one isn't really hard. And some fossil shell beds. So I guess as these are like Miocene storm deposits, maybe dense, really shell-rich layers. Kind of, I guess they form when you get storms that kind of concentrate a lot of the shells. That's at least what I've heard. But yeah, all right. Well, no bird's nests here at the moment. I was kind of hoping to find something like that, but yeah, very cool poking around. And nice little view of the canyon from above. Yeah, so going down there and around there. This view is just something else, you know. It's pretty early morning. The sun is gonna be coming up soon above the horizon in the canyon, probably. But yeah, you have this marine layer here that's kind of been with me for a bit. Should dissipate soon, and yeah, real nice. I just have a little ways to go before I turn around. And this pool is enormous, so I might take a dip as I make my way out there. And yeah, I was able to keep my hair dry until I was finally able to touch. And anyways, yeah, beautiful canyon, beautiful pool. I'm gonna do a cold plunge real quick. And yeah, ready? 1, 2, 3. Whew, nice, you know. To be honest, the water isn't like extra chilly or anything like that. Feels really nice actually. I bet this would be good, you know, on a hot day. So yeah, let me know. So if you want me to try to come back here, do something longer, I could definitely do a day trip down here. I don't know when it's gonna be, but yeah, I'll do that at some point. But just let me know if you like that. I don't know how the rest of the canyon's gonna be. I didn't know how amazing this would be, right? This is quite something, I gotta say, you know. And yeah, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get some photos here and then make my way back. You know, hope you guys enjoy this and maybe more footage after, so stay tuned. Well, I guess that's it for the way out, you know. Beautiful view, beautiful canyon, deep pools. That's the Santa Monica's for you, I guess. And yeah, I'm gonna traverse back, you know, go through the water, obviously. Get my stuff set. I set it over there, and yeah, see I'll see what else we get. When doing these recon trips, you just never really know what you're gonna run into. I'm gonna try to go on this side to see if it stays shallow. It might not, but yeah, you know, this is definitely one of the better reconnaissance trips I've done in a bit. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely try to incorporate more exploring of the Santa Monicas into my, you know, weekend, you know, adventures or whenever they are. And yeah, I'm sure there are many more gorgeous, beautiful areas just like this.